Hello and welcome to, this new, fresh and exciting edition of the Negotiation Room. Keld, it's always exciting, of course, for us to be bringing innovative approaches and to testing out some of the tools and systems that are increasingly invading our lives.
This one is exciting, isn't it?
It is indeed, and we want to thank you very much for volunteering to participate in this particular experiment, where we are moving forward with three scenarios. We are going to have teams negotiating without any support, so just traditional negotiation, pairs, and we will have an opportunity to do some planning around the scenario that we're providing, but we'll then embark on a fairly traditional negotiation. We then have a scenario where one team will be enabled and using ChatGPT in whatever way they choose to support that planning and negotiation. But of course, the other side will not. And then we have a third scenario where both teams will be making use of ChatGPT. We have no great expectation of what's going to come from this. We don't know the answer. We haven't yet observed. We have had a number of members talk to us about the benefits they've achieved through use of ChatGPT. But is that replicable? Was it just by chance? Well, this experiment will give us some pointers that perhaps indicate the extent to which artificial intelligence will be a useful supplement to the negotiator's tool set in the future. So, with that in mind, Keld, I know that you have a few hints and tips because, of course, many of our participants here probably won't have experimented much. And as you pointed out, there are right ways and wrong ways. There are shortcuts and there are dead ends. So what can we do to help participants who are using ChatGPT to make sure it is productive use?
Absolutely. That's very important because obviously, hopefully, ChatGPT will be an assistance, a help for them in their negotiation. Now, just to basically repeat a little bit what Tim is saying, we're very excited about the outcome because we have no clue. Hopefully, we will get three great simulations that we can compare and we can actually see whether humans versus humans are superior to technology versus humans or technology versus technology. Or perhaps we'll learn that ChatGPT is just an outstanding negotiator that outperforms human beings. We don't know. We will know, though, when this experiment is done. For this experiment, we have created a very simple simulation that all of you will get when you actually start your session. It's a very simple simulation with very few negotiable variables. It's a simulation between an architect house, a designer, who is procuring logistics, transportation from a transportation company. It's about furniture that has to be transported from Asia to retail stores in the US. And it's really a very simple negotiation because obviously it's not the point of being confused about the content of this negotiation, and whether you never negotiated logistics or furniture before doesn't matter because it's not really the content that is important. It's the few variables in this simulation that needs to be negotiated. Now, what we will do before you get started is we will send out a checklist and some recommendation on how you can use ChatGPT efficiently. We have in my organization been working with ChatGPT since it came out, just to see how can you do it right and how can you do it wrong, because the value of ChatGPT is very much down to how you communicate with ChatGPT. It's very much like communicating in a certain language. So the secret to get the right outcome of ChatGPT is very much how you ask the right questions and how you set it up and how you actually program ChatGPT to help you in that negotiation. So for you not to waste time just figuring out how is this thing working, how can it help us as a team negotiating, we will be sending out a few guidelines how we would recommend that you utilize ChatGPT. Obviously, that's not an issue when it's human versus humans. You just do what we do. which is good or bad. We will see soon, but you will get this guideline regarding ChatGPT. Talking about the actually simulation, I know that we have some participants that said we would love to get it ahead of time to prepare really properly, and I applaud that. I mean, preparation is key to be successful in a negotiation without any doubt. However, for the purpose of the study, it's very important for Tim and I that everybody have similar circumstances, so nobody's getting additional preparation time. So afterwards we can't say, well, this group had more time to prepare than the other group. So everybody's going to get the same time to prepare. So that means that the actual simulation will be distributed when we start the exercise online, and then you have the preparation time described to prepare yourself in your own team before you'll meet up with the counterpart and negotiate on a recorded Zoom line. So you will get the simulation, but you will be getting it when we actually meet up. Now, prior to the simulation and before we all meet up, as I just said, you are going to get a guideline on how to use ChatGPT properly to get some value out of it, and you also get some information and checklists from me in regards to the true negotiation in general, and you can choose to use that or not. That's all up to you, really.
Well, as we said at the beginning, we're very excited that you're joining us and we're going to be doing this together. And of course, it is not going to give us definitive answers, but I think it will give us some interesting pointers for further research and thinking about the ways that humans and machines can better integrate to achieve better results. We have, of course, Keld, got another little trick up our sleeve at some point where perhaps we would like to have, without foreknowledge, some teams using ChatGPT, others not using ChatGPT, and beginning to see whether anybody can notice the difference. Because one of the keys, I'm sure, for negotiators of the future is going to want to be, how much planning or what form of planning did that other party undertake? And we certainly know that a number of organizations have, at this point, banned the use of ChatGPT. So even if you want to use it, your organization may not let you do so. And we've certainly heard issues around cybersecurity, for example, standing in the way. So again, it is going to be important for us to build this intelligence, because if in fact the lack or failure to use ChatGPT puts you at a competitive disadvantage, then as negotiators, we will perhaps want to campaign with our organization, just like so many of us had to campaign for our organization to allow video, which was, of course, pre-COVID, another of those things that was considered to be a major security risk. So, Keld, exciting times, and we will be meeting up with you again very, very soon. We look forward to that.